Hello, everyone. Stephen Finesse here, Director of MGD Wealth, and thank you for joining today and viewing our presentation on governance, the frameworks that reduce risk and strengthen outcomes. It's a pleasure today to be joined by Robbie Parkinson, Private Client Advisor here at MGD. And Robbie and I represent a broader and very experienced advisory team here at MGD. It's important to note this is general advice information only and doesn't take into account any of your personal circumstances. Therefore, with all of these types of presentations, we encourage you to talk to your private client advisor here at MGD in relation to any queries that emerge in regards to your personal financial advice needs and circumstances.
Today we'll be introducing ourselves, MGD Wealth, our investment beliefs. We'll be talking about what governance is, especially through the lens of investment governance, why governance matters, and we'll be talking about the differences between governed and ungoverned portfolios to help step through the risks. Before moving ahead, if you're familiar with us, MGD Group, or less familiar, want to touch on what we do holistically and how we work with clients in multiple facets of their financial lives. We represent the wealth team, and investment governance is important through asset management and investment outcomes, or intended investment outcomes at least. But this is one part of what we do in totality at MGD, and we look to really build long-lasting, trusted relationships that span a variety of disciplines to help put our clients in the best position, themselves and their families, today and also decades into the future. From a governance perspective, one of the things that we do here within our own team is having suitable structures, ensuring that there's that suitable oversight, that roles specifically allocated to the right people to deliver on the right outcomes. So we'll go through governance in more detail in a minute. Just wanted to introduce the MGD Investment Strategy Group. We have various individuals in various roles managing various elements of how our AFSL is managed. Our investment strategies that we advise clients on are considered, reviewed, and who we work with as well to achieve those. But what we're talking about here with investment governance starts right here internally with us at MGD.
Thank you, Robbie. For those of you who have been or are long-term clients of MGD, you'll be fully across our investment beliefs that are critical to our advisory delivery here. It's a six-prong investment belief overlay. Ultimately, client goals are the most critical, and we're a goals-based advisory business. Risk management's super critical in everything we do here. Obviously, asset allocation in terms of running portfolios is a critical input. Efficient portfolio implementation and professional portfolio implementation is critical. Diversification is obviously a lever that we use within our goals-based advice process. But in terms of today's presentation, the big emphasis is on governance and protection. This has been a key element of our investment belief platform for a long period of time. And unfortunately, as many of you would be aware in the press, there are investment arrangements in the Australian financial landscape that has gone astray over the years. And a lot of that has happened because of failings in governance and due diligence processes. So from an investment beliefs point of view, governance and protection has always been critical. It's extremely important. And hopefully today's presentation helps delve deeper into what governance means and how seriously we take that at MGD. What investment governance? Ultimately, it's a framework, both internally, the way we are, as Robbie alluded to previously, how MGD implements governance, our protocols, our policies, the oversight, the risk management, we adopt internally, but also it's how we interact with our external investment partners, be they investment managers, asset consultants. So ultimately, it's an overarching framework, critically important because our valued clients deserve strong outcomes, and a lot of that obviously comes from investment markets, good investments, but that only comes through having a very strong investment governance belief system, but also living and breathing it every day. The four key platforms to investment governance are having strong policies and processes, both, as I alluded to before, both internally and with our external partners, having very clear roles and responsibilities. MGD, we have a full-time compliance manager. We have, as Robbie alluded to, our investment committee. We have internal and external specialists. So the roles and responsibilities are important to get right and clarify. Oversight, we have external investment committee members. We have external governance partners that help us on all our compliance obligations. And then ultimately having a lens to risk management. Obviously, a lot of people think about risk management from investments, markets being volatile or having ups and downs, but ultimately governance is a risk management tool as well. And understanding the risks from a governance failure point of view is critical to us. Internally, we run a risk register that we spend a lot of time on trying to understand what risks our clients are exposed to and making sure we do our best to minimise those in terms of investment outcomes and ultimately helping our clients achieve their long-term financial goals in a robust manner.
Thanks, Stephen, for speaking about and introducing what investment governance is. And now here I'll talk about why governance matters. I think from what Stephen had spoken about, a lot of it's relatively logical. But at the end of the day, one of the things, or the key element of why governance matters is it's the bridge or how we ensure that investor intent or strategic intent from what we're doing with our clients day to day is actually realized, and what we're looking at putting in place in terms of achieving objectives, those objectives are realized. So it really ensures that the plan and is on track and maintains on those rails, whether that's at an investment level or a strategic level where we're engaging with our clients and the work that we're doing there up and above the investment portfolios. How we get there is managing risk and volatility really intelligently as best we can. As investors, if we're going to expect a return above the risk-free rate or a cash rate, we're expecting some level of risk. Now, that also depends on the investments that we're allocating to, but within reason and what's expected, look to manage risk and volatility as best we can, whether that's through portfolio construction, investment research, portfolio blending, and it's also ensuring that the right strategies are paired, investment strategies are paired with the right strategies at a client level as well. Governance also matters from a clarity and an oversight perspective. So it's good to have all of these considerations in place, but if it's not always being overviewed and ratified, are we getting the most out of our intentions? So again, if we have all of these policies and plans considered, but they're not being applied, what's the use of them? So having this clarity and oversight is really important, and an important foundation of that is accountability. Strong governance ensures that all that's intended wraps up together, and then we get to the right outcomes for our clients at the end of the day. So here we side by side look at a governed portfolio versus an ungoverned portfolio, picking apart some of these considerations here. So a governed portfolio, decisions are anchored to agreed goals and strategy. We've got that strategic focus in mind the whole way whole way along. If we flick to the right-hand side of the page, ungoverned portfolio, you're more likely to have decisions driven by emotion or market noise. We're living in a world of a lot of geopolitical tensions. And I've never seen a day where a newspaper hasn't filled its papers. How do we work through all of that and understand when is it suitable to make change and when is it suitable to work through? What is, and hold your position, what is the best way to get to the best outcome for our clients? It also ensures that we're able to mitigate the risks of certain biases creeping into decision making again. So that helps us from a governed portfolio perspective. All of this helps us ensure that we're disciplined and maintained on our directive throughout market cycles. We really don't want to have reactive changes through volatility. Those commonly lead to bad outcomes or making potential bad outcomes worse. So not only did we want to avoid those up front, we also want to make sure that the systems and processes are in place to intelligently think through and work through or whatever part of the cycle that we are in at any given time. The clear roles, oversight and accountability are important, and that's important for any team or anyone wanting to achieve an objectives. If there's unclear accountability for roles and outcomes, then there can be finger pointing, there can be slow movement to the right strategies, or there can be bickering and unclear direction. We really want to avoid that, and strong governance helps manage that risk as well. Overall, a strong governance process ensures that the portfolios and your overall strategy remains aligned, resilient, and intentional. We really don't want portfolios drifting away from stated goals. You as a client don't want to sit there and wake up one day and feel like where you are and where your portfolio is aligned is away from your objectives. We need to make sure that there's constant engagement and work done on the portfolio and done with you as a client as well to make sure everything is aligned, because that puts us guiding you and you, most importantly, in the best position to succeed and achieve those objectives that are so near and dear to you and your heart as well. One of the strategies that we've implemented here at MGD for many years to help with governance and maintaining strong governance through time, especially from an investment perspective, is working with highly regarded local and global asset consultants and investment specialists. Here on the screen, you'll see a range of partners that we work through. Each have different strengths and backgrounds and deliver different elements to us that we highly value and we highly value on our clients' behalf. Willis Towers Watson, Quiller and Morningstar all are highly capable investment professionals who run different mandates and different strategies for us. They'll have their unique benefits, but at the end of the day, one of the things that we highly value is their strength in due diligence, their experience, and their overall governance that helps provide us confidence that the intended direction and the intended outcome from a client's strategy is going to be delivered. And with that, we'll wrap up today's presentation. On behalf of Stephen and I, thank you very much for your attendance. If you or someone that you know would like to continue the conversation, whether it's around governance and the governance frameworks currently undertaken in your strategy, or if there's anything else that we can help with, either within our wealth team or across the broader MGD group, please get in touch. You've got our contact details here. And with that, I wish you a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.